Hello?
Hello.
Am I on the TV?
Are we on the TV?
Is this on? Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Hello, am I on the TV?
Hello. Hello. Everybody says hello.
Hey! Ching, ching, ching goes the money tree. Welcome to Money Mondays here. We've got Shawn and Lacey with you. Welcome, 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 everybody. Hey, this is that time when you click on that little share button. Put this link on all of your social media feeds.
Please.
Let's rock this on Facebook, on Twitter. You could even do a TikTok of yourself watching this. It's time to pack the house. We are giving away $300 today. We're drawing 3 lucky names out of the, whatever, what is that called? The thing, the pool.
I don't even know. What is that called?
Thing. I don't know. We got the whole Mish family in. What's up, Irene?
Thing.
What's up, Sheridan? Great to see you. Abby Hukin, Susan Selmeyer, Scott Brunengraber. Brunengraber's on.
Scotty B.
Lonnie Wilson. Cairo Sushi's in the house.
Good. Now I got
Twisty,
it right.
Twisty, Twisty. Dr. Jen. Joanne Siebert. It's the Hopper. Matt Musgrave. We were working, Matt. We were working hard trying to get you a place here. A lot of stuff going on. Casey Weirheim jumping in. Tell your friends. We got to get more people in. You never know when we're going to draw the first name. We're going to draw 3 names today. Drawing 3 names. We are drawing 3 names for $300. You want to make sure that you get in on this. But before we do that, I want to give you guys time. Get your friends in here. Share this. Make sure that you are subscribed to this. That's the only way that you can really know
And that you click
this is going down.
And that you click the notification button.
We just had
It's
somebody
not
call.
Just as good to be subscribed. You got to click that bell so that you get notified when we hop on.
We just had somebody call us and they were like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
We're like, yo, Money Mondays. And they
Yeah.
were like, yeah, I wait until I get that notification, which is good. It's good. I'm glad
It's a
that you
text notification, but this
subscribe, get your
notification's great.
notification. Glad to see so many of you jumping on. Hey, also, want to make sure a couple things. Share. Let's go. We got to share this. We're drawing 3 names for $300 tonight. Make sure that you have your tickets for Black Diamond Club.
Marketing matters.
Coming up in November. I don't even have my notes up. I'm not even ready for
Remember,
this.
because marketing this year, as things are changing in the economy, things are changing in the world, that means that your marketing strategies are going to change too. So we're going to be teaching a lot of new out-of-the-box, brand new
old
concepts.
stuff. Let me tell you everything.
The new is the old.
Everything new, everything old is new again. And you got to know which ones to do, though. We're showing you through data that everything old is new again. We're going to show you some old marketing concepts that have been used in the past that we know will come back and will be extremely effective.
And we want you to be ahead of the game.
November 3rd and 4th. Miami Beach, the Fountain Blue, sure to sell out. It's going to be 250 of you and 249 of your closest friends getting together at the Fountain Blue in Miami. We have an amazing guest speaker list. If you're brand new to Black Diamond Club, if you're catching this and you're like, who are these fools? I got to tell you something. 250 people coming to Fountain Blue in Miami. Service providers looking to work on their marketing calendar. And we never leverage our special guest speakers. We never leverage
tell you who's coming.
Our guest speakers to sell tickets. We don't have to. It's going to be sold out. You're going to walk in there. At the last event at Money Matters, you were treated to Dave Allred, to David Meltzer, and Michael Chandler. Man, Michael Chandler and Brian Bogart. Yeah,
quite
4.
the lineup. Quite the lineup.
Michael Chandler is on track to fight Conor McGregor, I think. That's how it's shaping up. And that was our guest speaker at marketing. Imagine what we're going to be dropping on you, or at Money Matters. Imagine what we're dropping on you for Marketing Matters. And hey, I see a couple of my Sherman friends. Gotta let everybody know tomorrow, I am going to be on campus at Sherman College of Chiropractic, a rare appearance where I will be speaking.
Shawn Dill sighting.
A rare Shawn Dill sighting at Sherman College of Chiropractic, the center of the chiropractic universe. So many great things going on there. I'm going to be speaking at 8 o'clock, 8:30 there on campus as part of the IFCO
I love chiropractic, Shawn.
Spiz Fest.
Yeah.
It's going to be going down. I'm going to be dropping chiropractic philosophy, not money. Not going to be talking about business. We're going to be breaking it down. Those of you that are like, I wonder if this dude knows anything about chiropractic philosophy.
Just a smidge.
Let's see what we drop tomorrow. It's going to be going down seriously at Sherman College of Chiropractic. This is the place to be. We're super pumped about all of the great things that are going on at Sherman College. You should be supporting Sherman. We support Sherman. Lastly, What have your last 5? I've been doing a lot of
Our
content.
last 5 moves.
Oh, before we do that, I want to recognize Josh. Today, Josh is producing. Everybody in the comments, throw Josh some love.
Josh comes up with all those great ideas for us.
Yes. And so speaking of Josh, that's what made me think of it. Our last 5, everybody's always asking, what are your last 5 moves? So Patrick Bet-David has a great book. You should read it. It's called Your Next 5 Moves. Yeah. Your Next 5 Moves. But that's not what we're doing, because I think that, look, people always ask us, how did you get there? I mean, look, humbly, I'm going to tell you, and this exceeds our wildest expectations. A multi-million-dollar business. That's just in this thing that we do here. Multi-million-dollar business. We never even thought we'd get to 1 million. And you get to 1, and you play the double. You get for 2, and you go for 4, and you understand how that works. And everybody wants to know, well, how did you do this? How did you build that? People can do math. That's one of the things too. I hate that people are treat everyone else like they're ignorant. We have 30 people. We have 30 people in Quest 7. That's our
31.
highest level. 31 in our highest level of engagement. Those people pay $4,500 a month to be a part of that. Well, right there, you're like, dang, how'd you do that? So when people say that, how did you do that? Rather than just swipe and deploy and launch, your challenges and your masterminds and just
see what we actually did. We're laying it all out.
Yeah, you don't have to just copy from afar. You can see behind the scenes. We're going to pull back the curtains.
Our most pivotal moves in
our
business.
last 5 moves that have helped us to grow. You want to get registered? Go to www. I always say that. Josh has fixed this for me. www.ourlast5moves.com. You got to get registered. And I got to tell you something. You really want to opt for that VIP option.
Yeah.
Because you basically double down in the VIP space. You get
and
5
yes, you get the
additional
recordings.
hours.
If you can't be there at the right time, I know that's always a concern for people. Well, I'm seeing patients then. I'm with clients then. I'm dropping my kids off. Whatever it is, look, that's not an excuse to not get on board, because you still get the content. You still get the concepts. You still get to see what we talked about. And if you're take the VIP, a lot of people are going to be asking questions in there. And look, if somebody's asking it, you're probably thinking it. So why not get the answers you're looking for? Yep.
All right.
Let's get this started.
What are we watching? We're watching a ton of stuff.
There is so much going on.
I felt initially like this was like a slow week. There's not much going on. Here's the thing. Remember, it's not doom and gloom. All of this information is meant to protect and promote you. We just want you to know what's happening out in the world. And more importantly, we want to have a conversation with you about what you might think about, what you might do with your business in response to what's happening. I think that, Black Diamond Club, it is a swipe and deploy community.
Absolutely.
Hey, we got to stop the presses. I see Theopolis is on here with us. Fresh Laundry.
Nice.
That's the guy that does all of the art. Every single piece of art in our home in Naples, Florida was done by Theopolis. I mean, that's pretty amazing. You got to check him out. Fresh Laundry, PHRESH Laundry, Fresh Laundry with Theopolis. Here's the thing. So much stuff is going on. Swipe and deploy. You don't have to be a genius to just say, let's just look and see. We've talked a lot. If you're an investor, we've been talking last couple of weeks that Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway, the amount of money that they are allocating into oil and gas, specifically oil. I mean, you have to be a genius to just say, hey, man, let me jump in on some oil and gas. I know that we've been putting a lot of our Quest 7 members into some amazing oil and gas deals. Well, same thing with your business. Number one, straight up, Apple. Apple is beginning to put a pause on their hiring as they notice that the economy is softening.
I don't know, though, that this is a surprise to anybody. I mean, we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks how we're going to start seeing either layoffs or slowing in hiring because of what's going on. So Apple's a giant. So to see Apple make this move, it's a clear indication that things are really happening in the way that we've been discussing.
But here's the good news, right? So it's not all doom and gloom.
No.
If Apple is not going to be hiring people, and if your business was located in Silicon Valley in Northern California,
this is an opportunity
for you. That means that the workforce
out there
is going to have people that could potentially have been hired by Apple.
Yep.
Are now out there looking for jobs. They might come to you and be looking for that. So I'm not saying you just have to follow. It's not just blindly follow. But there's opportunity in each and every one of these. Next one, gas prices are coming down. This is good news.
They're still coming down. I know they were down last week. I think they were going down the week before. So
national average National average below $4.50 a gallon. This is a great time. This is the
People
first time
are
it's been below
driving
$4.50
again.
since May. People are beginning to be able to drive again. This is such amazing news. We're seeing this recurring lowering of the gas prices. We were way up there in the stratosphere. We broke $5. That was very concerning. We're beginning to see gas prices come back into
The stratosphere?
back into the stratosphere. Now, I got to tell you something, though. I mean, we say this every week. $4.50 is still high.
Still very high. Yeah.
Don't get tricked. Same thing that happens on the reverse side. Interest rates are still low. Interest rates are still low and gas prices are still high. Let's not get looped into, but we want to understand interest rates are going up. They're not high, but they're going up. Gas prices are coming down. They're not low, but they're coming down. And so we have reason to celebrate, reason to be happy here.
House prices
a
are
little
still
bit
high,
of an
though.
ease on
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Here's one that I love talking about a lot. Strong dollar fuels pullback into commodity markets. What we're seeing is the price of oil, metals, and agriculture products have tumbled since early June. In part, the recent fail reflects investors' fears that a demand-busting recession is around the corner. So number one, we're fearful that there's a recession coming. That's super, super important. But it is also
Or it's
because
here.
most commodities are priced in dollars. So even when we trade internationally, look, the majority of the people that are watching, you're based in the United States. And this has been problematic for quite some time, and we've been talking about this, is that as long as the dollar remains strong, what that does, so there's kind of this double-edged sword,
Yes.
because if the dollar loses value, your dollar doesn't go as far, right? So this is one of the ways to say there's a recession. What $1 used to buy, it
Does
doesn't
no
buy
longer
any
buy
longer.
that. Right.
Now, but we're seeing that, look, people will say, but here's the argument. The dollar is actually strong. We're seeing the dollar against the euro.
Yeah, we were just talking about that today.
Right? Having the
Yeah.
parity there. But here's what happens is because the dollar is so strong, a lot of the dollars begin to leave the United States. You acquire buying or purchasing power outside. Now, this is really great for a couple of people. This is really great for international corporations.
Yeah.
So if you're outsourcing, right? Your money's going out. This is great. This is great for people like you that love designer stuff.
I can't tell you how many of my girlfriends have messaged me saying we need to leave the country to go buy all of our luxury goods.
You just go over
Our
to
daughter
Europe.
messaged me and said we got to go buy purses in Europe.
Yeah, you go to
Like,
Europe,
let's
you go to
go.
Australia, your
Yeah.
dollar goes further.
So far, yeah.
Now, this is one of those things I got to tell you, so this is so difficult. One of the things I just mentioned is that we've placed a lot of our Quest 7 people into oil and gas, found them some amazing investment opportunities there. I've talked about what that looks like. You have to know somebody. You got to have you got to pull some strings. But here's the hard part, right? So when you're in oil and gas, you're kind of rooting for higher gas prices,
Right.
for higher oil
It's crazy,
prices.
yeah.
Now, when you are looking at the strength of the dollar, really what you're kind of rooting for is for it to maintain strong so that these dollars go out of the United
Which
States.
is not what we want.
But it is what you want if you're trying to combat inflation,
Well.
right? So I'm trying to get the money, I'm trying to dilute down the money because I'm trying to
But it's not
exhaust
what
the money
American
supply.
businesses want.
It's not what American
So
businesses
that's where
want.
the
This is a
double-edged
double.
sword is what I'm saying.
This is
Yeah.
a double-edged sword,
Yeah.
right? So now it's like, well,
Go out so we can combat
Yeah, and so
inflation,
this
but
is-
then the businesses suffer.
So this is something
So
that we
hard.
really need to keep an eye on. Remember, I don't think people really understand that during Trump's presidency, he actually wanted to take some initiatives to weaken the dollar. Everybody thinks, Trump was all pro-American. But by weakening the dollar, that would keep more of the money inside. But if we increase supply of the dollars, that causes the inflation, right? That's
Right.
why we have to continually raise interest rates. So this is actually somewhat of a good news, but something that we must keep our eye on because it's like we're teetering on the edge of this. Do we want it to be strong? Do we want it to be weak? If it's strong, money leaves. That helps us with inflation, but we can't keep it that way because then all the money keeps leaving our country, and ultimately that's not the
Quite the
best thing.
pickle we're in.
Home builder sentiment plunges in July as buyers pull back. We're seeing that home builder sentiment drops 12 points to 55. We've talked about that. Consumer sentiment, but home builder sentiment has dropped 12 points to 55. This marks the largest single month drop in the survey's 37-year history. What an interesting
I
time.
think that's because people are deciding that they no longer want to build homes. They're looking at their dollars
Well,
and saying it's not
This
time.
this is so interesting. This is what I'm saying. Here's what happens. You go on social media, everybody's got the answer. I hope that you understand. Here's what we're saying today. We don't know. We have our beliefs. I still believe we're in a recession. Right? We got
Right.
this technical recession. Technically, we're in a recession. Your president, Joe Biden, he's like, technically, that's not what makes a recession. Being technically in a recession doesn't technically mean you're in a recession. It's just a technical recession.
I guess.
There's a lot of confusion out there. I've been
Right.
saying for a while we're in a recession. Here's what we're seeing, right? So, man, home builder sentiment. There is a deficit of over 1 million homes. We're 1 million homes short.
Wow.
But home builders are like, yeah, ease up there, buddy. Ease up. Let's not go crazy. We're worried. Our sentiment, our confidence in the future is at a low.
Yes.
Because we're not sure if things keep going the way they are, if we should keep building these homes. Here's the worst thing that could happen. I build a home and then I'm just caught holding it.
I'm stuck, holding it. Nobody can
Maybe I've
purchase it.
invested a couple $100,000. I had planned on making a profit on this. And now, I have to lower my price. We're seeing that price is lowering. I can't lower it.
Regular sales are slowing of homes, right?
But that's why they're worried, right? So I
Yeah.
can't lower below what I have in it. I'm starting
Right.
to lose money. And so that's why that's what has them a little bit worried. We're going to talk more about that in a second. I love this. Dubai targets 40,000 virtual jobs in the metaverse in 5 years. You guys, if you're fans of Shawn and Lacey, we talk about this a lot.
Wow.
I'm really worried about this. Really, really, really worried about this. You guys, if you're watching this, you guys probably provide a service. My thing is, man, how do we put your service in the metaverse, right? Facebook's really doubling down on this whole metaverse thing. Well, what that does, here's the scary thing, is it opens the borders. You don't have to be local to work in a local geo in the metaverse. You could be anywhere.
Right.
You're seeing these commercials that are coming out, right? We're teaching these classes on the metaverse. We're taking them back in time on the metaverse.
Right. They're not talking about it being gaming or places where you sit around. They're looking at the metaverse now as an actionable way for you to be able to hone in your skill, right? And so that's how they're delivering it. They had to change the messaging, which is very interesting. That's for another day.
You have to really think about that. We're big in the metaverse.
Yep.
We're into this company called Black Box VR, one of our favorite companies in the metaverse. We love that. Fitness in the metaverse. I think that's the thing of the future. But that's worrisome for all of you. How are you planning on adapting and putting your business inside of the metaverse? I mean, I'm a dentist. You can't go to the dentist in the metaverse.
No,
right?
you can do consultations maybe in the metaverse. There might be
but then
a
people
way.
have got to come to you somehow.
Still,
You got to figure that out. And that's something. And nobody wants to talk about this. Nobody wants to talk about what's happening in the economy and what you should be doing. Nobody wants to talk about this thing called the metaverse and what you should be doing. We're tackling it. That's why you got to tell your friends each and every Monday. Money Mondays. If you're out, you're out. You're just out in the cold. You're not going to know what's going on.
You're on the up and up.
Existing home prices hit a new record as sales slow. Wait a minute. June home sales fall 5.4%. Sales of previously owned homes in June fell 5.4% from May, according to a monthly report from the National Association of Realtors. This is the slowest sales pace since the same month in 2020,
but
2 whole years ago.
median prices are at an all-time high. So maybe that's why things are starting to slow.
So yeah, that's what happens. So here comes inflation. We start supply and demand. We start raising up those prices, raising up those prices every time. We just learned this today. You put a house on the market, people are overbidding. We
hit the ceiling.
People are still overbidding. Then bang, you hit the ceiling, and now it starts to come back. Right. This appears as though we have hit the ceiling on home prices. We've hit the ceiling. And not only that, because we talk about consumer sentiment, home builder sentiment is low. So people aren't trying to go out there and purchase. What is this all of this that we're talking about, what does it have to do with you? Well, when consumer sentiment is low, it gets harder to sell. Right. In the spring of every year, we do something called sales. It sell anything. I know you got all those.
We're not just talking about homes.
You got all the closers out there. They're like, I can close anything. I can sell ice to an Eskimo.
Not when people are looking at their dollar differently.
Yeah, people are really thinking about this. This is why you need to tell your friends. This is why we need people tuning in, because we're going to have to modify again your sales strategy. Sales gets way harder during a recession when people are actually giving a lot of consideration to where their money's going. And look, if you're having difficulty selling homes, hopefully a lot of realtors, you guys need to pay close attention, because it was easy to sell homes when we were at a peak. You just list the home and bang, you would get offers. There's no skill involved in that. You just had to know how to list it and have a license. It's
been a seller's market for a long time, and now it's going to start shifting to a buyer's market.
And people are going to look for realtors that know how to sell.
Right.
Knowing how to sell in a down market. Ooh, there's so much value in that. Single family construction, we already said this, is going soft. So builders are slowing down. People are beginning to think, hey, man, I might not be able to continue on this massive run. And U.S. housing affordability is set to drop to 2007 levels this year. This is crazy, right?
That's crazy. 2007. I mean, we know what came right
before
after that. Right after that 2008 housing burst.
So what this means is that houses are unaffordable.
Right.
Now, here's what this means to you. If people are struggling to find homes, to live in their homes, they have less money to spend on extra stuff.
Right.
They're not going to...
If their dollar is going to their mortgage when it wasn't before, that means they have less disposable income to utilize on your services, which also means that you have to learn how to sell better again, right? I mean, so this is it seems to be a theme tonight. Got to learn how to sell.
And the dollar's record rally is hitting companies' earnings this season. We talked about that previously. Here's one of the things we said. You're going to have to watch this. Earnings season's coming. Saw some data indicating that, look, we might be ending the bear market in the S&P 500 in the stock market. I don't believe that, but I mean, statistically, these are very strong indicators. But look, the reason why I'm not jumping on that yet is because earnings seasons, we get earnings reportings, because of the dollar's strength. That means that a lot of these companies are getting hit as they move, as they compete overseas. Things are cheaper overseas. And so United States companies having a harder time competing, earnings being down, plus that we've got supply chain issues. We have a lot of things that are happening that are keeping earnings down. Lower than expected earnings reports drives the stock down. People hit panic. They start to think, oh my gosh, these companies are in big trouble, et cetera, et cetera. I do want to have one that we don't have here, special bonus, because I do think this is useful. I want to give all of our viewers some great content. You might not grab this. If you do fully capture this, please use this to your absolute ability. One of the things we talked about this weekend, we just hosted our Quest 7 mastermind, 1/3 of our Quest 7 group here in Indianapolis with us. One of the things that happened is Netflix. Netflix dropped 1 million subscribers. And there's a lot of way to dice this and cut this and look at this. Now, Netflix losing everybody. 1 million subscribers on the surface, it looks terrible. Right. Like, oh my gosh.
And when the news actually hit, it was spun. It's extremely
it spun terribly.
Look at Netflix, like their whole business model, they're falling apart. What's going to happen? It was bad news bears.
Here's what came to light is that they are moving right to a premium model in order to preserve the commercial free option, raising the price, also getting rid of or cracking down on the sharing of the username and password. So if you got your whole family's using one username and password,
like most of us
cracking
do.
down on that. And it looked really bleak, but here's what's happening. They lost 1 million, but they announced, look, so here's what we're doing is because we've raised our fees. Because we've raised our fees to get you into a premium model. We lost the down market subscriber. Right. But what we're going to do is we're going to come back and we're going to offer them a lower level subscription service that contains ads.
Right.
And they said, and we expect to onboard approximately 2 million subscribers with that lower offering. We've been talking about this forever.
This is genius. Because it's not even that they're expecting to gain another 1 million subscribers than they had before, right? So net gain of 1 million subscribers, but now they also get paid by the ad companies.
They get ad revenue.
Like, this is insane.
Collaboration.
Collaboration. And the ad revenue is going to sustain them through any crisis, right?
If somebody knows somebody at Metaverse, tell them, like, we're ahead of our time here. We'd be happy to tell them and guide them. We've been telling you to do this for over a year. Raise your prices, then we can recapture the down market. It's super easy to recapture the down market. We've been telling you this forever. That's what we've done. That's why you've got to be registered.
Harder to capture the up market. So you have to do that first, just like Netflix
That's why you've got to be registered for the Our Next 5 Moves Challenge. Because you might be sitting there.
Our last 5 moves.
Our last 5 moves. Put it up there. Our last 5 moves challenge.
It is our last 5 moves. It could be your next moves, but it's our last 5 moves.
I've been going since 8 o'clock this morning. We're well past 12 hours. Haven't had a single break. You haven't given me anything but San Pellegrino. Oh man!
I only have water. At least you have bubbly. I'm just saying.
Right, that might turn me back on.
All right.
So what are we doing?
I think we should pull a name. Who thinks we should pull a name?
All right.
Yeah, roll.
We'll pull a name.
All right. We're gonna have Josh come up here. I think it's time to pull a name. Ching, 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 everybody.
Just one?
Just one name. We're gonna come on, Josh. Come on. Yeah, everybody wants to see Josh.
Oh, everybody wants to see.
I
Josh.
know. Everybody wants to see.
Josh is single.
Josh is single,
if you are
ladies.
looking for a Josh in your life, post in the chat here. He'll see you. You can get a Josh. Go deep in there. Like we want one that we've never seen before.
Single Josh.
Oh yeah. I think I got one.
Yeah, we have a winner. We have a
Let's go.
winner. Everybody.
Oh.
Hold on, I got
All right.
time.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll wait.
We're wait.
Josh's gonna put the timer on.
time on.
All right.
Oh.
Figures he
So
picked
your
that one.
twin flame over here.
Twinsies.
Josh just happened to pick.
Ready?
Josh Money is single. Everybody's saying Josh single. Let's go. All right, 30 seconds on the clock. Josh picked Josh McDougal.
Josh McDougal, let's go. Let's go, Josh McDougal.
Josh wanted to hand
We're
out
watching
money
the
to
chat.
another Josh
You got
out there.
$300
Money,
coming
money,
to
Josh.
you.
He was singing the money song to his own
$300
name.
coming to Josh McDougal.
Josh
We're just waiting for
McDougal.
him to post there. Oh,
And ladies, he's
I want to
single.
give you $300. Single Josh Matthews is giving out $300 to Josh McDougal.
And
Oh,
you know
boy.
what? He took care of Dexter. He's
Oh,
a great
boy.
caretaker. Just gotta say.
Gotta love it.
Josh McDougal. So sorry. All right.
Oh, the pain.
Josh, the pain.
Oh, the pain.
The pain.
Oh, the
We
pain.
still got 2 more shots.
See, that's what's happening. That's
Two
what
more
you got
shots.
to tell your friends. You got to get your friends because it's embarrassing to win $300
You didn't technically win.
on technically
You have the
international on an
opportunity to
international
take
broadcast
home $300 and
and lose it.
lose it and not even get it.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
right.
So we got a plan.
Okay.
What do we want everybody to do
So here's
this week?
here's the action items for this week. But let me just give you a little framework here because we talk a lot about. I'm here for the comments about Josh right now.
Josh
just
is
keep them
single.
coming, Josh.
Josh is gonna be replying to all of you eligible females.
Yes. You can hit him up in DMs. Josh at blackdiamondclub.com is a nice way to connect with him too. All right. So anyway, one of the things that keeps coming up for me is we talk about the book that Les McEwen wrote, Predictable Success.
That's one of my favorite
It is
business
one of your favorite
books.
business books. And you do say it's a little bit dry, but it's not really.
No, I don't say it's dry. I like that book.
Okay, you like the book.
You know
but
what's dry is Pendulum.
Pendulum's super dry.
Let's get everybody here. Roy Williams,
super
Pendulum. That's a dry. You can tell him he's on Money Mondays. It's a little dry, but it's
Yes.
extremely valuable.
And predictable success is
I like that.
extremely valuable.
I like predictable
right?
success.
Because it helps you understand the different levels of success that your business goes through. But one of the things that he talks about in there is the whitewater stage. And I can't tell you how many of my private clients I have talked about this particular stage of business with. And when you think about whitewater, what do you think about, right? Like
Whitewater Rapids.
you think about whitewater rapids. You think about when I hit whitewater, it's not easy to navigate. I have to put in more work, more effort to get to the other side. And I always ask clients that all the time. What's on the other side of whitewater, right?
Well, but here's the other part of this is from the book. Whitewater is usually caused by growing pains.
It's called, and it comes after the fun stage.
But it can also, this is very important, what we're talking about today, it can be caused by external factors.
yes.
So
external
whitewater is
conditions.
not just growth. It can come from the environment.
Right.
It can come from the state of the economy. It can come from a virus like coronavirus. You can all of a sudden find yourself in whitewater, the state of turbulence, this moment where everything is chaotic
Where once,
in the business.
right, the moment before it was fun and it was smooth sailing, and then blam, you hit the
Whenever
whitewater.
we hit whitewater, we always have 2 choices when we're in the middle of it. We can retreat back
to fun
safety.
zone and safety.
Well, it might even be not even be fun because it could just be shrink, right? Go back safe.
He calls it fun, though, is what I'm saying.
Or we can get to the other side.
Yeah.
Right. So the whole thing about this Money Mondays, the reason why we're committed to being on here with you each and every Monday,
It's because we see whitewater.
we see whitewater. You might not
Some
see
of
it.
you might be
And
heading
you're
up
stepping
to
in it, and then you start to feel a little bit turbulent. We want to talk about, well, you could go back, right? You could shrink, but we don't want you to do that. We want to help you to navigate yourself to the other side.
Yeah, and one of the things that he talks about too that's really important when you're in the whitewater stage, previous to that a lot of times when you were making decisions about your business, you could have made decisions based on instinct and your gut, right? Up into that moment, up into that phase of whitewater. But when you hit whitewater, You can't just make instinctual judgments anymore.
Well, we saw a lot of that. We see a lot of that with our clients. A lot of our clients, we like to say it's very painful to hear, but a lot of our clients are very successful, but by accident.
But by
That's
accident.
right. So like because their gut, their instinct has led them there. And I'm not knocking that. There's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people are extremely successful. They have great intuition. They make sound decisions based off of their gut, their instincts, and they trust their instincts. But when whitewater comes, a lot of times your instincts can let us down. Now, unless your instinct was telling you the whitewater was coming, which is probably why you were watching this,
yep,
that can be helpful to you. But then we want to talk about creating an action plan.
Well, and one of the quotes that I love that they talk about is what got you here won't get you there, right?
Oh,
and
I love that. And I love who got you here.
Also who, what, who, and your way of thinking, right? And so when we're in whitewater, you can't just rely on who and what got you to that stage, right? So we have to make some changes. So what do we got to do? Number one, you have to, again, step out of just making instinctual gut reaction decisions and have high quality team-based decisions, right? This is important. We talk about team all the time and the people that you surround yourself with. This doesn't mean people that you've necessarily hired, because your team isn't just the people that you hire. It could be your significant other. It could be your accountability group. It could be you, yourself, and I.
I think that we had a little whitewater today.
We did.
I'm going to rephrase that a little bit, because I think it's also going to be team-based for sure, but it's going to be facts-based. So a couple of things. When I hit whitewater as a leader, what I attempt to do is
logic. We need logic.
Slow down time.
Right.
Slow down. Everybody, what happened with us today, we had a little snafu in our Everbowl location in Chattanooga. People were losing their minds. They're like, Shawn's going to sue them. Actually,
and you probably will.
I may, but I mean, but that wasn't my first.
Okay.
That wasn't my
No.
first. That wasn't my first instinct. That wasn't the
Right.
first thing I said. Here's what I say: slow down time, and then here's what I say. Let's get the facts.
Yep.
Non-emotion based decision making. Now, emotional based decision making in an upturn, it
Might be okay.
It might be okay. I'm not saying it's great, but it might be okay. In difficult times, in whitewater, you need to be able to eliminate emotion. I think it was Brendan Burchard did a piece where he had talked to several of the living presidents and asked them in moments of crisis, in potential moments of war, big crises, international crises, what do you do? And they all said to a person that what the key characteristic is that you must learn to slow down time.
You still need to be decisive, but you need to be able to slow down time.
And you make
to
decisions
make the
based off
decision
facts.
off of facts and
based
logic.
off data.
Yes. And that's important. But I mean, high quality team-based decisions should also be based off of facts, right? Because we don't let the people around us make decisions for us based off of emotion. That would be extremely dangerous. Yes. Number two, this is really important because, again, when you're going into whitewater, you need to look at your systems, right? I know. Go ahead.
Here's one of my favorite quotes. People get tired, systems don't.
Yep.
Right. So, having strong systems going into whitewater is absolutely critical because, first, in point number one, we talked about team-based decisions.
Yep.
But look, when there's a lot of stress, when there's a lot of work, high-paced, stressful environment, people get tired.
You have to be able to fall back on the systems and the infrastructure that you created to make sure that the business can keep moving forward.
We've seen over and over and over that people get tired, systems don't.
Mm-hmm.
This comes from sports. That's why people like Bill Belichick are so successful, because you can swap out the players. The systems don't get tired. The players get tired. Your team is very much the same way. So when in moments of crisis, we lean back on systems. Well, so many cliches that are out there. Another one is in moments of stress and moments of crises, you default to your lowest level of training. Here's another way of saying that. You default to the lowest level of systems that are in place. So when things get crazy, your systems are what are going to drive. So what we need to do is we need to stop and say, okay, how systematized is my business? Here's what I say. Of course, if you're a member of Black Diamond Club, we always talk about how there's no one right way to do anything. We also talk about how the mark of a truly successful individual is the ability to hold two seemingly opposing ideas simultaneously in one's mind. Well, here comes the opposing idea. Because I will also say that in all successful businesses, there is a way to do everything. There's a way to open. There's a way to clean the bathroom. There's a way to answer the phone. There's a way to do everything. There's a way you turn on the computer. There's a way that, and so that's the question for all of you to ask yourself. If you believe that we are potentially headed towards whitewater, how systematized is my business?
Right. And systems allow for consistency, and consistency leads to success no matter what you're going up against. And I think that's where people oftentimes, forget and get lost, is like they don't have the systems in place, so they can't stay consistent. And when you're not consistent in your business, what happens? You're never going to make it through whitewater. If you're not consistently rowing through whitewater, you're going to fall back into what was once safety.
Yep.
Right. We want to get through the whitewater. Point number 3 is don't be seduced by stories. And I heard this somewhere recently, and he said, don't be seduced by stories. But that's not just good stories. That's also bad stories. It's also comparison syndrome. It's stories you tell yourself. It's stories that you see on the news. It's stories that other people in your world are telling you can or cannot do. It's all the stories around you. So don't get seduced by stories that are coming from a narrator that is not yourself.
Well, even narrator that is yourself. Like, don't tell yourself stories. But here, I agree with you 1,000,000%. Here's what I think about that is that, in whitewater, people don't care about your stories. It's a big rule in our franchise, the Specific Chiropractic Center. When we are doing trainings, when we're working on growth, we always begin by saying people don't care about your story. This is a no story zone.
A no story zone.
How come you did not fulfill on XYZ obligation?
Well, blah, 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 blah,
as soon as you
no
hear
stories.
that, we're like, yeah, no stories.
No
We're not trying to
stories.
hear other people's stories. And we always say, listen, the world doesn't give a damn about your story.
Right.
The world cares about itself, right? So in a recession, the world is trying, they're not worried about, oh, I'm having a hard time making the bills. Well, they are too.
Yep.
Right? So they don't care about your story. They're worried about their own situation, their own selves. You've got to get really good at being able to have the rest of the world hear your story for them, not about you, not about why it's not working. And you have to be able to not be distracted by stories. And I want to just reiterate something you said. Pete Lombardi's on here saying, don't lie to yourself. That's one of the big ones. And don't let other people lie to you.
Right.
Right. So other people that here's what happens is that people that are in whitewater like to find other people that are in whitewater. And here's what I want you to understand about this analogy. If I'm in whitewater and you're in whitewater, you're of very little use to me. You know who can help me is the people who are on the other side, who have already navigated the whitewater and found safety. Again, that's why we're doing our last 5 moves challenge. You find people who are on the other side and you reach your hand out to them. You say, look, I realize that I'm in whitewater. I realize that you're on solid ground. Can you grab my hand and help me to navigate this? Not, you're in whitewater, I'm in whitewater. Wow, this really sucks because we can't help each other while we're both in whitewater.
We can't navigate this if we're both in whitewater.
So no stories. One of the biggest points for me is, and especially other people who are in the whitewater with you, block them out. Don't listen to them. They're trying to save themselves.
What's the movie where it's Clear the Mechanism? What's that movie?
Oh, that's the baseball one. Major League. Not Major League.
Is it the baseball one or is it Tin Cup?
No. It's the same actor. Kevin Costner.
Clear the mechanism, though. But isn't that exactly what that is? You have to clear the mechanism, the external environment, the external stories, but also the mechanism, the internal environment. And then you can focus on that which is in front of you, the most important thing, which is growing your business and living the life that you deserve.
Never, ever, for the love of the game. Stacey,
for the love of the game.
Thank you.
Thank
Never,
you.
ever receive advice from somebody else who's standing in whitewater for you. All right, we're going to draw 2 more names. We got 1 more point.
We got 1 more point. So should we just draw 1 name right now?
No,
or you want to do
let's
the point? Okay, last point of the night is make sure you can weather any storm.
Now, this is big, right? Because we're talking here about, well, maybe there's a recession coming. And we lived through already COVID. Maybe monkeypox coming next, right?
I don't
right?
know.
Like
It's been coming for a long
there's all these
time.
other things.
Yes.
Here's what we're talking about because
Right.
and we're seeing it, and you will continue to see it. Recession-proof your business.
Yes.
We don't use that. I want to point that out. You don't hear us saying recession-proof. We're not talking about just a recession. We're talking about crisis-proof
proofing
your business. What if there is no recession? That's fine, because every single piece of advice and counsel that we're giving you here today will count if it's monkeypox. It will count if it's whatever, if it's locust, if it's whatever the thing is.
Crisis-proof your business.
We're talking about crisis-proofing
Crisis-proof your mind.
your business.
Crisis-proof your systems. Crisis-proof your decisions.
We got to draw some names.
That's it. Those are our 4 things.
Those are our 4 things.
We got 2
tonight.
names left to draw.
Thank you so much, Trish Augustine, saying this is solid gold tonight.
$300. It's gold. It's gold.
All right.
It's
Mix it up. Mix it up.
gold.
Mix it up.
Come on, Josh.
Deep. Go in
Go
deep.
in
What
there.
do you got?
There's a Josh arm in there. There's a Josh face.
All right,
Single
just
Josh.
hand it to me. Don't show the
He's
camera.
single and ready to mingle, ladies.
Hand it over. Hand it over. What you got? What you got? Okay, I got. Oh wait, that was my
Wait.
pick. Okay, got it.
Pull.
I got it.
Got it? Okay.
Oh, we should. Hey, Josh, draw one more so that
And
you
then
don't
you
have to come back.
Just
So
in
this-
case.
that's number
This
one.
is
I
number
know that
one.
one's number one.
I got number 1 right here. You can't see it. It's flipped around. I think he just smacked my hand.
I did.
He
Do
did smack
not
my
show-
hand.
okay,
Do
I
not
gotcha.
do it. We got
Okay.
30 seconds.
All right.
30
Got two
seconds
good
on
ones.
the clock. Two goodies.
Two good ones.
Oldies but
Two
goodies.
good ones. Two good ones.
All right.
All right, here we go.
First
Who's
one
ready
up,
to win
ready
$300?
is-
Let's go.
You ready, Josh? Jay Noggle.
Jay Noggle, Jay
Jay
Noggle,
Noggle,
Jay
are you
Noggle.
on?
You're on the clock, my friend. We're giving you $300. All you got to do is comment
all you
within the
gotta
next
do.
20 seconds that you are here. Jay Noggle, Jay Noggle. You have $300 coming to you. All you got to do is show up. This is the best show on the planet.
Jay,
Monday nights on
Jay,
Money Mondays.
Jay.
We give you money just for showing up. Imagine
Hey,
that life
hey,
was like
Jay.
that. You
Hey,
just
hey, hey,
show
hey,
up
Jay.
and you get money.
Or you don't get money. Or you don't get
Well,
money.
shoot.
Sorry, Jay.
Well, shoot.
All right, next one
Well,
up. They can't see
shoot.
that.
Yeah, you keep showing the names.
Oh,
giving people an unfair
Jay.
advantage.
All right. Last.
Okay, one more.
name.
One more.
Last name.
One more.
For $300.
$300.
And if you're not here,
Flying
on the
out
clock,
to you.
Ready, go. Rochelle Knowles.
Rochelle Knowles, Mile High
Come on,
winner.
Mile High,
Rochelle,
Rochelle
Rochelle. You
Knowles.
could take
Rochelle
that $300 and you could make a
Donate it to
donation
Sherman.
right to Sherman. You could donate it to the Mile
She
High
donates so much.
Foundation.
She donates
Check
so
out
much to
Mile
Sherman.
High Chiropractic. Rochelle and her husband Danny, they're big winners, but the question is, are
they
they going
win
to be
tonight?
winners tonight? Somebody text Danny Knowles. Somebody
wait,
text
no, come
Rochelle
on, that's
Knowles.
cheating, we
You
said.
got just oh my Lord.
Oh, man. Hey, this is good for all of you. This is good for all of you.
Well, it's like what
Because,
we talked about.
Listen, that means next week, $400.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're making
And four
layoffs at
names.
Apple. That could be good for you. Your colleagues didn't win. I mean, we love to see winners. We love
Yeah.
winners, but that could be good for you. Here's what we're doing next week. Next week, we're dropping $400. We're adding $100 to the pot. We're going to give away $400. We are going to draw four names next week. You got to tell your friends, hey, listen, if you know Jay, you know Josh, or you know Rochelle, please text them and say, oh my
You
gosh.
guys missed out tonight.
If life was just that easy, you just show up and make money, that would be amazing.
But listen, you know our saying, the universe conspires on our behalf.
On your
We
behalf,
always
because you showed
win.
up.
So it's conspiring on your behalf too. So that means somebody out there really needs that $400, and they're going to be on next
It's going to
week.
be great. It's going to be great.
We need that. Yes.
Love
4
all of
bills,
you guys
baby.
jumping on. Thank you so much for jumping on. I'm even seeing we're getting some international viewers. You guys are the best. Got our viewers from Japan. Love
Go
seeing that
back.
because I used to live in Okinawa, Japan.
Yes. Go back. Listen to our points that we gave today to weather the storm.
We
To
appreciate
crisis-proof your business.
Appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget, make sure you're signed up for our last5moves.com. Make sure that you have your BDC Marketing Matters tickets. It's going to blow your mind. And if you are in and around Sherman College tomorrow, all day, I'm going to be on campus. And tomorrow night, as part of IFCO Spiz Fest, I'm going to be talking and breaking down chiropractic. You have one more thing.
I do. I need to address the elephant in the room because people are
which is?
talking about the dancing.
Oh, yeah. What the heck happened to the dancing?
I know. Look,
you do
look,
not get to get out of that.
I
No.
am not going to wiggle my way out of that.
No.
I will actually do the dance.
Next week?
But I need to do it
Next week you're
with
in
Luke.
Naples.
Yeah. Oh, I'm with, yeah. So maybe
You
we'll
do it alone
pre-record it.
in
No.
Naples.
I'm not doing this by myself. I'm not the dancer in the group. Somehow I got roped into this.
Maybe Erica Bosson can help you.
Yeah,
She's a
Erica can help
dancer.
me. Somebody needs to help me.
I mean, it didn't even get remotely close to 250 today,
But
and
I
that
was
wasn't
from
the bet. That wasn't the bet. So
200 from last
I'm
week.
not doing the dance.
Well,
I'm not
doing the dance. I promise we'll bust out some moves at some point. It'll be a surprise. I'll just say that. It's going to happen.
We got a lot of cool surprises coming
We got
your
lots
way.
of
Don't
cool
forget,
surprises.
everybody, get registered for our last 5 moves. Make sure that you have your tickets for BDC Marketing Matters. Text your friends. Tell them what they're missing here. We're dropping fun. That's the most important thing.
Fun.
Recessions can be fun.
Yeah.
Right here.
And you can win.
on Money Mondays. See everybody next week. Peace.